The submachine gun emerged during the First World War, a couple of years after the tank. Along with compactness, one of its most crucial qualities is its rate of fire, which provides sufficient fire density. It is precisely this feature we will discuss today. I present to your attention the top 10 fastest-firing submachine guns from different countries around the world. Opening our list today is the Italian Spectre M4 submachine gun, as it has the lowest rate of fire among all models featured in this release, 850 rounds per minute. The submachine gun was developed in the early 1980s by gunsmiths Roberto Teppa and Claudio Gritti, specifically for counter-terrorism and other special units. Chambered in 9mm, the Spectre can be carried with a round in the chamber and the hammer cocked. To open fire, one only needs to press the trigger. Another feature of the Spectre is its forced air barrel cooling. The bolt, during its movement, forces air through the barrel jacket, enabling sustained automatic fire. It was used from 1985 to 1997 and is still in service with special police units in Italy, France, Switzerland, and the Republic of Kosovo. Continuing our list is the Chinese Bullpup configured Type 05 submachine gun with a rate of fire of 900 rounds per minute. It was developed in the early 2000s by a research institute of the People's Liberation Army of China. Initially produced in a version for the 5.8 by 21mm cartridge, it was later also made in a 9mm version. It has a low weight due to its polymer construction, which also facilitates faster mass production. Ammunition is fed from a detachable curved 4-row magazine. Since the Type 05 is intended for general military use rather than specialized roles, its suppressor is detachable. The Type 05 has been produced from 2005 to the present and is the fastest-firing Chinese submachine gun. Next on our list is the German Heckler & Koch MP7 submachine gun with a rate of fire of 950 rounds per minute. It was created in 2001 for a specially developed 4.6 by 30mm cartridge. Classified by NATO as a new class of firearm, personal defense weapon, it surpasses many other submachine guns of similar size in terms of accuracy. According to statistics provided by Heckler & Koch, the MP7's effectiveness against targets wearing body armor is 2.5 times higher than that of the 9 by 19mm MP5K, with half the recoil. The MP7 uses box magazines holding 20, 30, or 40 rounds. It is equipped with a full-length Picatinny rail on top as standard, which comes with folding front and rear sights. A downside is its relatively low stopping power. It is used by special forces and police in more than a dozen countries worldwide and is the fastest-firing German submachine gun. Continuing our list is the Swedish Interdynamic MP9 submachine gun with a rate of fire of 1,000 rounds per minute. The MP9 was developed in the early 1980s as an inexpensive 9 by 19mm military submachine gun. However, the development failed to generate sufficient interest among the military, and the gun never entered production in Sweden. Unwilling to abandon the project, Interdynamic created a subsidiary in the USA, intended mainly for selling a semi-automatic version named the G9. The company produced a very small number of registered MP9 submachine guns due to a lack of demand from the general public. Nevertheless, it is the fastest-firing submachine gun from Sweden. The next position on our list is occupied by the Russian PP91 KEDR submachine gun, with a rate of fire of up to 1,000 rounds per minute. The PP91 was developed in the early 1990s by order of the USSR Ministry of Internal Affairs, based on the earlier P71 design by Yevgeny Fedorovich Dragunov. The first 40 pre-production samples were manufactured in 1992 at the Izhevsk mechanical plant. Serial production began in 1994 at the Zlatoust machine building plant. The PP91 uses the 9x18mm PM cartridge and is distinguished by an extremely simple and technological design. The gun's automation is based on a simple blowback system. It has a hammer-type trigger mechanism allowing for single-shot and automatic fire. Ammunition is fed from double-stack box magazines holding 20 or 30 rounds. The KEDR is in service with virtually all Russian security forces, including the National Guard and special units of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Continuing our list is the Swiss Brugger and Tomet APC submachine gun, as one of its modifications has a rate of fire slightly higher than our KEDR, 1,080 rounds per minute. More precisely, it is a family of submachine guns for 4 different types of standard ammunition: 9x19mm, .40 S&W, 10mm auto, and .45 ACP. The APC series was developed in the 2000s as a modern submachine gun, the production of which would be cheaper than carbines firing intermediate cartridges, which were increasingly being used for military purposes during that period. The first APCs were released in 2011 and are still produced. The upper receiver of the APC is made from an aerospace-grade alloy, while the lower receiver, pistol grip, magazine, and stock are made of polymer. The APC Pro series can have various caliber options, stocks, suppressors, accessories, training versions, and the ability to accept Glock or SIG P320 magazines, providing operators, including those in the USA, Slovakia, Brazil, and other countries, with extensive modularity. Next on our list is the Belgian Bullpup configured FN P90 submachine gun, with a rate of fire of up to 1,100 rounds per minute. It was developed between 1986–87, primarily for tank crews and combat vehicle drivers. A special 5.7 by 28mm cartridge type was developed for the P90, possessing high penetration power and a low tendency to ricochet. The round achieves a muzzle velocity of up to 715 meters per second and can penetrate a Kevlar vest from a distance of 20 meters. The magazine is mounted on top of the receiver and holds 50 rounds, with the cartridges oriented horizontally, perpendicular to the barrel, and rotating 90 degrees before being fed into the chamber. The FN P90 is equipped with a built-in collimator sight with an adjustable reticle, and also features a laser target designator mounted underneath. One of the designer's main tasks was to minimize the weight of the weapon and ammunition, but there is a serious drawback: high production cost. The P90 is 3 times more expensive than a modern assault rifle, and 5 to 7 times more expensive than submachine guns like the Uzi. Nevertheless, the P90 is used by armed forces in more than 20 countries worldwide. The next line on our list is occupied by the Slovak and Czech Scorpion Evo 3 A1 submachine gun, with a rate of fire of up to 1,150 rounds per minute. Originally, the submachine gun was developed in Slovakia under the name Laugo. Development began in 2002, and in the latter half of the 2000s, Česká zbrojovka acquired the rights to the design. In 2009, the Scorpion was presented to the public and entered serial production in 2010. The Scorpion uses the 9x19mm Parabellum cartridge and operates on the familiar blowback principle. It is made primarily of polymer, making it a lightweight and compact submachine gun designed for easy maneuvering in confined spaces. The trigger mechanism is hammer-fired, allowing for single shots, bursts with a 3-round limiter, and full auto fire. Picatinny rails are located on the bottom and sides of the forend, as well as on top of the receiver. The magazine is a transparent, impact-resistant plastic type, holding 20 or 30 rounds. The operators of this submachine gun include more than a dozen countries worldwide. Continuing our list is the Israeli compact Micro Uzi submachine gun, with a rate of fire of 1,250 rounds per minute. The designation Micro is given to distinguish it from the earlier Mini Uzi. The word Uzi itself comes from the name of its designer, Uziel Gal, although Gal himself did not participate in developing this modification. The Micro Uzi was developed in 1985 for high-ranking officers and combat helicopter crews. It is produced in 3 calibers: 9x19 mm Parabellum, 9x21 mm IMI, and .45 ACP. Accordingly, it uses different magazines holding 20, 25, 30, 32, 40, 50, as well as drum magazines for 72 and 100 rounds. In this specific case, the extremely high rate of fire, due to the weapon's simple design, is not a plus, but rather leads to excessive ammunition consumption and significant recoil. The Micro Uzi is in service in Israel and the USA and is mostly used in Israel. It is most popular among special forces and naval units of various countries. The fastest firing weapon in our release today is the American KRISS Super V submachine gun, as it has an adjustable rate of fire from 800 to 1500 rounds per minute. Testing of prototypes for this weapon began in 2005. The results showed that the weapon's climb during burst fire is negligible, ensuring high accuracy of automatic fire and excellent controllability. The KRISS Super V uses a delayed blowback system that operates via a special counterweight or inertia block, moving in an almost vertical plane behind the magazine well. All variants of the KRISS Super V have special Picatinny rail guides on top of the receiver and under the barrel. The submachine gun uses magazines with a capacity of 13 rounds, similar to those used in the Glock 21, as well as extended magazines holding 30 rounds. The KRISS Super V has been produced in various modifications from 2009 to the present.